Well, good evening, and thank you for joining us in the ICU TV Main news. Now, before we get into the details, well, let's take a quick look at the stories that are making headlines. Now, FRAs 99% payment claim contradicted by Mpika farmers' plight. Child safety failures demand urgent national action. Well, government, IZA and Pharmanova strengthen child health through schools. And in international news, well, train driver killed in second deadly Spain rail crash in days. And on the sports front, well, Cooper Queens begin preparations for Morocco Wafcon tournament. On the news desk at 8, my name is Malova Eric J. Mwanamajend. Well, despite assurances by Food Reserve Agency FRA Board Chairperson Suresh Desai in June 2025 that 99% of maize farmers had been paid, or farmers in Mpika district are still struggling to access the dues, exposing gaps between official statements and realities on the ground. And now, between January 13th to 17th, 2026, scores of farmers queued for days at Mpika banking halls, with some spending more than 3 nights waiting to be paid, or sparking frustration, allegations of selective payments by bank staff, and raising fresh concerns over the transparency and efficiency of the payment process.
Despite Food Reserve Agency (FRA) Board Chairperson Suresh Desai's June 2025 announcement that 99% of maize farmers had been paid, farmers in Mpika are still facing challenges accessing their payments. From January 13th to January 27th, 2026, farmers queued at Mpika branches with some spending over 3 nights awaiting. Farmers alleged bank staff were selective, dispersing payments, prompting Msakanya Ward Councillor to intervene and calm the situation. Many farmers traveled from far-flung areas, expressing frustration and desperation. The FRA had earlier stated that only farmers in remote areas were awaiting payment. So
babeta basakunda bakunda babakana bakuwana obali akwabo but for today, he said like so
the Mpika situation raises concern about payment processes and transparency. Peter Ngererwa reporting for ICU TV News in Mpika.
Well, and in other news, Zambia continues to face serious child safety failures, highlighted by the recent death of a 4-year-old pupil in Kalulushi during school transport. Well, the incident is part of a broader pattern of preventable child deaths linked to negligence, poor enforcement of safety regulations, and lack of accountability, underscoring the urgent need for stronger child protection measures nationwide.
The death of the 4-year-old pupil in Kalulushi on the Copper Belt has once again shaken the nation, raising questions about child safety in Zambia. The toddler reportedly fell through a hole in the base of the bus when it was in transit during a morning routine pickup. What should have been an ordinary journey to school ended in irreversible loss. While police have detained the driver and impounded the bus, accountability must go beyond immediate arrests to address such systemic failures that allow such negligence to persist. Regrettably, this incident is not an isolated one. Zambia has witnessed numerous cases where children have lost their lives due to preventable circumstances. These include drowning, road traffic accidents, and collapsing of unsafe structures. Each tragedy follows a familiar pattern: public outrage, investigations, and then silence until another child's life is lost. As the Kalulushi case unfolds, it must save more than just another headline. It must be a turning point that compels institutions, authorities, and communities to address the uncomfortable truth about the negligence and safety of children in Zambia. Zambia cannot afford to normalize the loss of young lives to preventable failures. Our children deserve dignity, safety, and protection every day and everywhere. Pantlimi Kula, Mpanga.
Now, the government of Zambia, through the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Education, has received 50,000 kits of anti-diarrhea treatment packs. The kits will be distributed to selected schools in Lusaka and Chongwe districts through the government school health program. And the donation was made possible through a partnership with Pharmanova, Zambia Limited, the International Zinc Association, and Healthy Learners. While receiving the donation, Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Administration, Mrs. Joma T. Simui, said diarrheal diseases remain a major public health problem, and she noted that illness affects children's health, school attendance, and learning. She added that school-based health services help provide early treatment and support cholera prevention efforts. Kit ya moyo, meaning kit of life, contains oral rehydration salts and zinc tablets used to treat childhood diarrhea. The kits will be integrated into routine school health activities, and this approach allows schools to act as trusted points of care within communities. International Zinc Association Director of Sustainability, Mr. Eric van Jenderson, praised Zambia's school-based model and said it will be shared internationally in 2026. Pharmanova, Zambia Limited Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Mohamed Umar, said the program shows the success of local manufacturing and partnerships. The initiative supports national efforts to improve child health and learning outcomes. The Ministry of Agriculture has held a Farmer Input Support Program (FISP) review meeting for the 2025-2026 farming season and a planning session for the 2026-2027 season. Speaking at the meeting, Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Mr. John Mulongoti, described the full migration to the e-voucher system as a major achievement in Zambia's agricultural reform agenda. He said the transition across all 116 districts showed government's commitment to efficiency, transparency, and accountability in the delivery of farming inputs. Mr. Mlongoti explained that the review was important in assessing the performance of FISP following the 100% shift to the e-voucher system. He commended officers at national, provincial, and district levels for their professionalism, noting that the program recorded positive results despite some challenges. As of 20th January 2026, 99.94% of registered farmers had collected their inputs, while 99.74% were successfully verified through the electronic Know Your Customer (eKYC) system. He further reported that all farmers met their required contributions, and 58% of bonded farmers sold maize to the Food Reserve Agency, and 66.24% of approved agro-dealers actively participated in the program. Mr. Mulongoti said these results confirmed that the e-voucher system had improved farmer choice, timely access to inputs, and private sector participation. He also acknowledged the role of the Jobs Accelerator Project, JAP, in improved market linkages and job creation, especially for youths and small-scale entrepreneurs. However, Mr. Mulongoti noted the need to improve farmer targeting and strengthen data integrity, and verification systems. While he expressed concern over cases of misconduct in some districts, including delays, guideline violations, and isolated cases of theft, warning that the administrative and legal action would be taken. And he further reaffirmed government's commitment to achieving agriculture production targets set by President Hakainde Hichilema under the Comprehensive Agriculture Transformation Support Program aimed at boosting productivity, sustainability, and rural economic development. Now we take our first break, and we'll be right back for more of our local stories. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity building for national development.
Welcome back, and now in our local stories, traders at Kawata Market in Lusaka have shown positive response to the Ministry of Health's call to maintain cleanliness in public places to prevent the spread of cholera. Well, according to Zanis, the move is part of the government's ongoing efforts to safeguard public health. Now, Royce Mocha, a restaurant trader at the market, encouraged fellow traders to uphold high standards of hygiene. And she explained that the markets can quickly become hotspots for cholera if cleanliness is neglected, as many people buy food there daily. And Ms. Mocha also praised market management for reminding traders to follow sanitation measures. Vegetable trader Clifford Kunda added that sellers must ensure their produce is fresh and clean. And he warned that raw vegetables can carry bacteria that may cause cholera if not properly handled. And Mr. Kunda emphasized that maintaining hygiene is essential to prevent disease outbreaks in the community. Well, Minister of Health Elijah Muchima, during a press briefing, stressed that fighting cholera requires strong cooperation among government ministries, border authorities, and the public. He reiterated that the disease is largely preventable through improved hygiene and sanitation practices. Well, the Soka Town Council has begun installing traffic lights at the Maisene turnoff along the Great North Road. Well, the project will cost 850,811 kwacha and 39 ngwe, funded from vehicle licensing under the 2025 sector grant. Well, the aim is to improve road safety and control traffic in the district. Well, the council's public relations officer, Peter Schali, stated that the traffic lights are a response to increased traffic at the junction, which has seen several road accidents in the past. Well, the new system will help manage vehicle movement and reduce accidents in the area. And the work has already started and is expected to take 3 months, while completion scheduled for March 2026. Well, Josmag Enterprises Limited has been contracted to carry out the project. Mr. Scheli also highlighted other improvements in the town, such as installation of streetlights, as a sign of steady development in Isoka. We'll now take another break and we'll be right back with our sports and international news. Do stay cleared.
The Information and Communications University is complementing government effort in promoting legal and safe mining for all Zambians. ICU is offering a short practical training course to artisanal and small-scale miners and those who intend to venture into mining. This training covers identification of rocks and minerals, mining operations and equipment, health and safety in mining, environmental protection, licensing and compliance. Qualifications: National Registration Card NRC. Apply now at www.icuzambia.net. For more information, contact the ICU School of Mines, Department of Artisanal and Small-Scale Mining at +260 763 302 596 or +260 973 263 492. For analysis of mineral samples, contact the ICU School of Mines Laboratory at +260 973 263 492 or +260 977 833 434.
Welcome back. Remember, you're still watching the ICU TV Main news at 8. Now, getting down to international news. Well, a train driver has been killed and at least 37 people injured, 5 seriously, after a commuter train derailed and crashed near Barcelona 2 days after a deadly two-train collision in southern Spain. Well, according to local officials, the Rodalies train collided with a retaining wall which fell on to the track between Gelida and Sant Sadurní. Well, Catalonia Regional Fire Inspector Claudio Gallardo said all the passengers had been removed from the train. The incident occurred as heavy storms battered northeastern Spain, with coastal areas in the east and northwest of Spain on high alert because of the weather. Well, rail officials believe the wall collapsed as the train was passing shortly after 21 hours, which is 21 hours GMT on Tuesday evening, or striking the driver's cab first and then causing considerable damage to the first carriage of the train in which most of the injured passengers were traveling. Well, the identity of the driver was not immediately clear, as 3 trainees had been with the driver when the accident happened. Firefighters said 2 of them were among those seriously injured. It took almost an hour to free one of the survivors at the scene in Gelida, about 35 kilometers, 22 miles west of Barcelona. Well, and it's still in international news. Well, Israel has postponed the demolition of a Palestinian children's football club in the city of Bethlehem in the occupied West Bank. Well, it said the Ada Youth Center's pitch was constructed without the necessary permits. It said the demolition was necessary for security reasons. An international campaign to save it, including petition with more than 500,000 signatures, appears to have forced the authorities to reconsider. Well, the club, however, said it had not yet received any official notification, and it is barely a 10th of the size of a full-scale football field. There are patches of rust on the goalposts and towering over the length of one of the touchlines. The architecture of conflict looms large in Israel's concrete security barrier. But while it may not rank high up among the world's iconic sporting venues, the Children's Football Club has found itself at the center of the hard-fought international campaign for its survival. We now take our final break and we'll be right back with sports news. Just stay tuned.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
Welcome back, and now in our sports news tonight, well, the Zambia women's national football team the Copa Queens have begun preparations for the 2026 Women Africa Cup of Nations Wafcon with a local training camp in Lusaka. Well, the tournament will be hosted in Morocco and is scheduled to run from March 17th to April 3rd. Well, coach Nora Hapto has called up a provisional squad of 38 players for the camp. The squad includes locally based players as well as foreign-based players whose leagues are currently on recess. Well, the camp is expected to run for 2 weeks and will focus on physical conditioning, tactical awareness, and team cohesion. Zambia has been drawn in Group C, where they will face defending champions Nigeria alongside Malawi and Egypt. Well, the Group E is considered competitive, and the technical bench has emphasized the importance of early and thorough preparations to meet the demands of the tournament. Well, that sports item, we come to the end of the ICU TV Main news. Now, before we go, let's take a quick look at the stories that made headlines. And now, FRA's 99% payment claim contradicted by Mpika farmers' plight. Child safety failures demand urgent national action. And government, IZA and Pharmanova strengthen child health through schools. In international news, train driver killed in second deadly Spain rail crash in days. And on the sports front, Copa Queens begin preparations for Morocco Wafcon tournament. Well, thank you so much for watching the ICU TV Main news once again. And for more news updates, please do stay glued to our Facebook platform, that is ICU TV, and our ICUTVZM.com, that is our website, and also ICU TV on YouTube. Please do have a lovely one. I've been your anchor this evening, Molowa Eric J. Mwanamjende.